Well, it looks to be the end of an era, and honestly, with the sheer amount of nonsense swirling around it, it's not a moment too soon. We all saw this coming. The decline was inevitable when they decided to prioritize ticking boxes over telling good stories. The audience has walked away, the money is drying up, and now the cracks are becoming impossible to hide. It's been a long, slow death, but it seems we're finally approaching the end game. And frankly, good riddance. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon. And today I'm looking at and laughing at the breakdown of the left. Let's talk about Doctor Who yet again. Because somehow this franchise keeps finding new ways to self-destruct. Bad Wolf Studios, the production company responsible for the show since its Disney-backed return, recently posted in the past tense about hosting Doctor Who and Dope Girls in 2024. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but that sure sounds like a company moving on. You'd think they'd be hyping up Doctor Who's future, not treating it like a finished project while advertising their studio space for new productions. And given how much room they'd need for things like, say, a TARDIS set, the fact that they're putting out feelers for new tenants is suspicious, to say the least. Then there's the BBC itself, desperately grasping for new ways to keep the TV license scam going. The latest attempt, trying to force people to pay even if they only watch Netflix. That's right, because of course they are. The license fee model is outdated and the BBC knows it. They've already sold off everything they could, but the cash cow has run dry. They refuse to move to a proper streaming model because they know people wouldn't pay for it voluntarily. The public has had enough, but rather than adapt, the BBC is digging in its heels and trying to squeeze blood from a stone. And what about Disney, the so-called savior of Doctor Who? Silence. Absolute silence. The mouse isn't promoting the show, it's not advertising it to international audiences, and it sure as hell isn't giving it the kind of push you'd expect for a global franchise. That's because there is no global audience for it anymore. Parents won't pay to let their kids watch this nonsense. The show has driven away long-time fans, and the new crowd they tried to court, they don't stick around. Let's not forget the absolute train wreck that is Doctor Who's writing team. When you're hiring people like Juno Dawson, someone literally banned in parts of Ireland, you know you've completely lost the plot. Her last attempt at writing for Doctor Who was an abysmal failure, and yet here we are again, watching them double down. If only I could redact that entire era. And of course this all ties into the larger problem with modern entertainment. Bloated budgets, dwindling audiences, and companies run by people who don't understand the product they're selling. The BBC has spent years treating the license fee like a bottomless pit, but as a wise woman once said, the problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money, and here we are. The BBC is floundering, the production company is distancing itself, Disney is staying quiet, and the people in charge are the same ones responsible for running Doctor Who into the ground in the first place. We all know where this is heading, and at this point it's just a matter of watching the final collapse. And you know what, I'm fine with that. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.